Hello and welcome everyone. I'm going to show you how the scripting dictionary works using a practical example. Now, we've got this list of data, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it very simple. The scripting dictionary can get very complex very quickly, so this will just be a simplistic view of what it can do. Okay, so we've got these categories here, and we've got this amount over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to summarize the unique versions of the categories, i.e. these fruits, and then give us the total. So I'll show you what the output should look like. So we'll sum up that column, so it equals 788. We go for a summary, want the summary of apples, pears, oranges, etc., etc. So hit the summary, we go into the output page, and alt equals, and we've got our 788. We clear that, delete, data, click, go back, there it is again, and it is 788. Okay, so that's effectively what we want to do. I've already created the code. We're going to go through and make it from scratch, and I'm going to talk us through line by line what's actually happening to create something like this. Now, this is really just for demonstration purposes. This is like an introduction into a practical version of how you could use the scripting dictionary to create wonderful. Yeah, I know this can be done a lot simpler with a pivot table. That's not the point. The point is to show you how the scripting dictionary works, because it can do some magic, yeah? So you have to learn from the ground up. Okay, let's go and have a look at the back end of VBA, and let's create all of the variables and go in and create something that actually does what we showed just then. Okay, so we want to create a sub. So we'll sub and we'll say sum data. Okay, sum data. Okay, that'll do. All right, so we'll create our variable. So what I want is I want to dim I, that's going to be my integer, as a long integer, and I want to dim n as my long integer, yeah? And then I want a couple of arrays. So I want to dim AR as a variant, and then I want to dim a double R as a variant. Cool. Okay. All right. So they're my variables. Now, look, when you're creating a scripting dictionary, you can go Tools, References, and you can add a reference to the Microsoft scripting runtime, or you can just go, I want to create a dictionary with the with statement. Yeah. You can do either or. Yeah. A lot of people are sort of preaching that you have to actually reference the runtime, but that actually will give you access to the dictionary in the watch window, yeah? So I'm going to do that. I'll create a variable, dim, dict, just in case I want to show you all the items and keys inside of that dictionary. So dictionary as new dictionary. Okay, all right, cool. All right, so firstly, I'll use this variant. So I'm going to make, let me just swap back into Excel. I'm going to make the variant equal to Control-Shift-8, everything inside that list. Okay, so the way that I do that, Alt F11, is I'll go AR is equal to square bracket A1, close square bracket, dot current region. Okay, cool. All right, so basically that makes the array equal to everything in that list. So that list is entirely now in memory under the variable AR. All right, good stuff. All right, so effectively, next what we'll do is we'll hook straight into our scripting dictionary. So we'll say, let's set our dict equal to create object, and then we'll open a bracket, and then we'll say, hopefully I won't make any mistakes, typos, scripting, and then dot dictionary. Nice. Okay, good stuff. All right. Now, cool. So that's set the dictionary up, and now we'll just say we want to reference that dictionary. So we'll say with the dictionary, okay, and now it is a matter of starting our looping construct. So I'm going to loop from the start of my array to the end of my array. Now, dictionaries have this peculiarity in that they only allow unique items to be added, and they get added with a key and an item. Yeah? So the key in our data set is going to be apples, pears, oranges, yada, yada, yada. Yeah? So only unique items. So effectively, that list. Yeah? That's going to be our key. And our item is going to be the summation of these amounts. Yeah? All right, cool. So let's go in and knock that over. Okay, so it is 4i, okay? And that is going to be equal to 1 to the upper bound of our array. And then comma 1, so the first column, so the length of our array, yeah? Now, let's just get out of that loop straight away. I always forget to put this in, so, well, I don't anymore because I start my for and then I end it with the next, and that saves you making a mistake at the end. You start your for, as soon as you finish the first line, end it, and then write the data in between, yeah? So we're into our dictionary, so it basically says create scripting dictionary, so we can reference it with the with statement. So we'll say dot item, yeah? Dot item is going to be our AR, and then it's going to be our I, comma, in the first column, yeah? All right, good stuff. So we'll close both brackets, and we're going to say that is equal to itself. So we're going to say it's equal to itself, so I'm just going to take that, I don't want to write it again, copy all of that line, and then plus anything in the last column. Let's go back. What's the last column? This column here. What is that column number? Column number 6, yeah? Because F is the 6th letter in the alphabet. Okay, let's smash that in. So it's equal to itself plus, and then we'll say AR, open bracket, I, comma, 6, yeah? All right, now we're in a world of pain if there's columns added in between, but for demonstration purposes, this is perfect, yeah? All right, good stuff. Now, the cool part about it is that is the guts of our code. That really gets things sort of rocking. So it gets the data punching in from our dictionary and altering our array, yeah? Now, what we'll do is we'll say that we want our ARR to be equal to an array, and that array is going to be made up by the keys, and I've taken you through keys and items in prior videos, yeah? So keys and items, yeah? So it's going to be equal to all the keys and all the items in our scripting dictionary, which will get built through here, yeah? All right, so, and then we're going to push out our n. Our n is going to be, actually I want this, I don't want this here. Yeah, that'll do. N is going to be equal to the count of our items inside of our dictionary, yeah? All right, so basically it's dict.count. Dict.count, or create scripting object dictionary.count, but that we've shortened that by having that, yeah? All right, good stuff. So we can end our with statement. Oh, this is getting exciting. Okay, so that's very good. And now all we've got to do is output the data. So basically, what I'll do to output the information, firstly, what I want to do is I want to go to the output sheet. I want to clear whatever's in there. So basically, Control-Shift-8, clear. So basically, delete, like that, effectively, Control-Z. So I want to do that in code, though. So well, let's go back into VBA. Alt F11. In order to do that, I've got to get the sheet reference number, so that's sheet 2. Okay, cool. So we'll say we want to go sheet 2, that's a worksheet code name, and then I'll just go square bracket A1, and then I'll reference the current region again. It's a good idea when you write code just to write it in lowercase, because then IntelliSense will make it uppercase if it's correct. If it's not correct, it will stay in lowercase. So I'm looking for the C to capitalize and the R to capitalize, and then I'll just say .clear contents, and I'll write that in lowercase as well. Yeah, nice. Now, when I press enter, if it all capitalizes, We're good. Okay, so we got the capital C, we got the capital R, we got the capital C, we got the capital C. It's basically just joins the letters together, or the words together, and then capitalizes the first letter of each word, yeah? And then you know you're all tickety-boo. Okay, all right. So what I want to do is I want to make a range inside of here, yeah? So it's cleared the content, so it's basically done that. And I want to create a range and put all of the items that we've got in our ARR into that range, yeah? All right, so let's go and do that, yeah? So we'll say sheet 2 dot, and then we'll go A1, oh, a square bracket, A1, and then we'll say we want to resize the range, and then we want to resize it to the length of n, so the length of all the items inside of our dictionary. Sorry, I clicked out. I was going to try and show you that line. And then, so it's 2 columns wide, so that's the length and the width. And then we'll say value, and that is going to be equal to, and we're going to transpose our array, application dot transpose, and then we'll open a bracket and we'll just say ARR. All right, good stuff. All right, giddy up. Okay, so this is where the rubber hits the road, yeah? So effectively, inside of our worksheet, what we'll do is we'll run this procedure. So I haven't actually referenced this sheet, so we've got to be on this sheet, but we'd have a button. Let's say we had this button, copy, paste. We might change the color of this button to be sort of a navy blue, and then we'll assign a macro to that button. So some data, that was the one we just created. All right, good stuff. Okay, so effectively, no data there. We want to run the procedure. So we hit the button, boom, output, boom. We've got the data. Does it equal? It is 788. So alt equals. Oh, I pressed alt F11 rather than alt equals. So alt equals, there we go, 788. Nice. Okay, so let's get into the sort of the nitty-gritty of this procedure. Okay, so let's go in and really dig around and see what's actually happening when we run it from scratch. All right, good stuff. So, and maybe even, so this down here is a bit overkill. We could actually move that up to here. So we start off with the contents cleared in sheet 2, and that's tidied up. But look, you know, it's neither here nor there. I just hadn't thought of it till I got to the end, yeah? All right, good stuff. So basically, we might stop the code here, and we'll run through it as we get through. Actually, I'll stop it here as well. So where am I on the sheet? Because I haven't actually shown a worksheet. Okay, I'm in the right sheet. Okay, so let's run through this procedure. So I'll just press F8, and then we'll push the data. That's clear. So I might view, and I'll create a watch window, and I'll pull the dictionary into the watch window, yeah? Actually, can I delete that? Yep, so there's our dictionary, okay? It's got nothing in it. And then we'll just go F8, F8, and you'll see there's nothing there. And what this should do, because it's starting in 1, 1, so that's the header row, and it's basically equal to category, okay? So we'll go item, press F8, item 1 is equal to category, yeah? We go again, and then item 2 is equal to apples, yeah? And you'll see that now when we go into the next one, we've got our apples. The first item was 280, and the next one's 560. So we've got a total of 840. So apples is going to equal, see the 280 there, and see the 560 there. So it's going to take the item, remember the key, this value here is the key, so apples is the key, and then the item is what it's actually worth. So it's taking its value, it's equal to itself, 280, plus the 560, yeah? So that's how it's actually, the mechanics of what's working. Nothing but unique items can come into here, yeah? So basically, as we press F8 and run through this another time, the value of our apples goes from 280, it adds an additional 560. So 560 is 60, 760, 860, 840. So it's equal to 840. Our apples are now equal to 840. You see there, 8.4. Okay, all right, good stuff. So we come up again, and we've got another apple. So basically, that must be the next one. So apples, apples, apples. Actually, they're the first 5. So after the apples are finished, it should be equal to 1640. Yeah. So we'll just go through that. This one will be an apple as well, and then see that 16.4. Okay, and then it should be a brand new item. Yeah, so pairs. Yeah, and pairs have a value of, if we just hover over the item, 480, and that's equal to the pair at 480. So the first pair is 480. Now it won't find another pair until down here. Yeah, so it'll go on to oranges. Yeah, so the next item in the list, if we run through it, is going to be our oranges. So we press F8, and F8, look, oranges appear, and it gives a key and an item. A key and an item. And when it comes up against, with any luck, oranges will be the next one, so no, it doesn't produce. But when it comes up against something that's already found, it just goes back and says, well, apples was equal to 1640. We found another apple, which is what's going to happen in the next iteration. So it's going to go up and say 1640. Look, 16.4, because it's an apple. And then it adds, it says it's equal to itself plus whatever's in the cell in column 6, which is 4. So we'll go back and verify that. The apple is here, the 4 is just there. I hope that makes sense, because that's what's actually happening. We're just consolidating it in a very simplistic sort of a way, but we're using and abusing the dictionary for our own means with these arrays to just populate the information that we want. And then we're saying that the array size, we want to resize A1 to be equal to the size of the length of the array, yeah, or the length of the dictionary, and basically 2 columns wide, yeah. All right, so that's effectively what's going on under the hood, yeah. And if we go into our workbook, before I do, I'll just run this through to the end so we don't have any sort of blockage. Yep. So we'll go into the workbook, and let's say we go into our lookup table and we add sort of like, let's add bananas. Banana, and then we'll say they're worth 20 cents a pop. Yeah. And then we go into our data tab, and they were a bit apple rich at the start, so we'll say banana. Yeah. And then we'll go banana. Okay, so there's 2 bananas in the mixing pot. Yeah. All right. So we hit this button here, yeah, you go into our output and you'll see no bananas, yeah. We hit this button, boom, output, banana, yeah. And it doesn't give us a change. There is a slight change. It's 784 now, and in the data we highlight that column 784. So hashtag kaboom gets the job done quickly, simply, easily. Look. There are better ways to do it, but let me be crystal. This is a way to understand how the scripting dictionary works, because it can do things that other things in Excel cannot do. So you get your head around the basics and you take it and you fly. All right, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed my demonstration into the sort of mechanics behind the scripting dictionary. I hope you have a fantastic day. See you next time for our VBA dashboarding and scripting demonstrations. All right, take care everyone. Bye-bye.